Welcome back, folks. I'm live out at Lewis and Clark Park where the Explorers are tied at 2 with the Gold Eyes. More on that later, but we'll turn our attention to high school softball where one player out of Sioux Center has been turning heads all season. That would be Tatum Schmalbeck. Now, Schmalbeck has been watching the Warriors since she was a little girl, but now it's her turn to leave a lasting impression. Amber Salas has more in this week's Sports Force Champion.
From a young player just starting to develop her game to now a leader of the Sioux Center softball team, the softball diamond is where Tatum Schmalbeck comes to life.
I honestly remember her sitting on the bucket in the dugout, holding the ball for the pitcher of the varsity team when she was a second or third grader. That's kind of how I remember her starting on this field.
For as long as I can remember, I followed my mom around to tournaments and just watched the girls, hung out with the team. That really was something that I wanted to be a part of when I got older.
From dreaming of the moment to now living the reality, making her mark on the Warriors softball program.
I just really love my teammates and I just love the game of softball. And so it's just fun for me and I just really try to step up for my team when they need it most. And whether that's in the circle or at the plate, I just try to do what I need to do to put my team in the best position to be successful.
She started her journey with the Warriors when she was just in 8th grade, and now 5 years later, Tatum Schmalbeck has grown to be a force both in the circle and the batter's box. She hit a special milestone of 500 career strikeouts during a shutout game, also leading the Warriors at the plate in home runs and RBI this season.
So just remembering when I get in the box, like just to remember all the hard work that I've put in and not to overthink it and just to swing. That's kind of what I do.
With a ball in her hand and a bat in her hand, she just finds peace and joy, and I think that's just something that she's always truly loved. I mean, just growing up around the game.
Over 500 career strikeouts and a solid year at the plate, belting off plenty of home runs. Sioux Center's Tatum Schmalbeck is enjoying these final memories of her senior year. It's been a special year, from 2 grand slams in 1 inning to walk-off home runs, but Schmalbeck has been able to experience it all with her family right by her side, with her mom and dad as coaches and her sister as a teammate.
I had a good friend say to me, if her 3rd grade self would have only known this now. And, you know, honestly, I feel like that's how long ago, but how fast it's gone. And I'm really just trying to embrace these last few games and weeks with her and trying to embrace it all one game at a time.
This being my 5th year playing Warrior softball, it's going to be hard to say bye, but it's been so special and I've created so many memories and friendships and bonds with just so many different girls.
Pitcher, Tatum Schmalbeck.
What she does know is that little Tatum would be so proud to see her now, preparing for her next chapter of college softball at Northwestern College. In Sioux Center, Iowa, Amber Salas, KTIV Sports Force.